Welcome back into race number 2 of this afternoon's doubleheader of another 50-lap feature event from Talladega Superspeedway. And once again, like in feature race number 1, on lap 17, I'll be throwing a caution flag, and the trucks will come down the front stretch from lap 18 for another moment of silence this afternoon. Welcome back in. I promise this second race is going to be much better than the first, as we have a few new drivers this afternoon. John Shields is going to be driving the number 21 this time by in this race this afternoon. So welcome him into the fun this afternoon. And unfortunately, yes, for race control, everybody, I do hate to apologize that me being not in the truck, I do have to actually show the menu screen. So give me 1 second here and I'll get this off your screen, making sure everything's set to go as we're going to hit the qualifying this afternoon for race number 2 this afternoon. Another 50-lap feature here from Talladega Superspeedway. Race number 2, lining up for the grid. Race number 2, lining up for the grid. Race number 2. Starting on the pole for this race, just like last race, but on the opposite row. On the inside in the number 16 will be Chris Ellis. To his outside is the 17 of Aiden Law. On the inside of row number 2, you see the 18 of Brenton Horton. To his outside in a brand new truck for race number 2 is the 12, Nicholas Sasek, rocking the M&M's paint scheme made famous by Kyle Busch many years. Behind them in row number 3, you will see Donald Risto. Sorry, Donald. I apologize. I do not know what I was thinking. I said it was going to be better, and I failed. My apologies. Risto back on the grid after having technical issues and internet connectivity issues in race number 1 this afternoon. To his outside, you'll see that number 19 of Chris Lindsay. Behind him, rocking the number 21 this afternoon in race number 2 is going to be John Shields. To his outside is going to be that 26, rocking the Lucas Oil Chevrolet of Nicholas Deal. As you see a couple drivers leaving in the grid right now. Half the field lined up. Alright, we are back up and live. Rocking and rolling here around the Talladega Superspeedway. As the field is double file all the way back to the back of the field. As the lights are off on that pace car, it's about ready to dive onto pit road. I'm going to try to adjust my microphone on the fly if you can't hear me very well as not dropping everything in sight this afternoon. As we're going to go green for another 50 laps around the Talladega Superspeedway. This is U.S.O.R.A, and this is Reapers, as the pace car hits the pit road, leaving the field in the hands of Chris Ellis. Law on the outside of Ellis, as they are about ready to hit the green flag.
Green flag.
The two teammates from Reaper Studios on the inside. The 16 and 18 get a good jump. That number, the 12. Ooh, gotta be careful about making that move before the start-finish line, as you could get a black flag for making a move early. So we'll see if the 12 gets a black flag for that move. As the field is starting to get the trucks going, here we go, folks. Here we are. I hope this is a little bit better here that you can hear me now, as I'm trying not to get it clipped so it's so loud. Single file early on in race number 2 of the afternoon. David Jerome did not get the start he wanted, dropping back 3 some seconds and dropping. He has lost the draft this afternoon early on. As we see this battle heating up, we have Biffle out in front. Kyle Busch in third. Nah, who am I kidding? These guys are better than Busch. No, in all seriousness, though, that was just good humor fun. If you're just tuning in now, thank you for joining the broadcast. My name is Justin Wilkes with Reaper Studios, bringing you U.S.O.R.A's doubleheader this afternoon from the Talladega Superspeedway. 2 50-lap races, one already in the book, another 50 laps around this afternoon now. A lot of these drivers come over from Heat 1. The only new guy right now is that 21 of John Shields, back there in the 21 now. Last race, that was Burcham. But now in the 22, we see Hunter Burcham. Speaking of Burcham, there he is. He was the number 8 last 50-lap heat feature race we had this afternoon. He's rocking the number 22 this afternoon in this 50-lapper. Behind them, we have Chris Lindsay, and behind them, way in the distance, as you can see, coming down the backstretch is David Jerome. But don't look now, in the back of the field, lurking, waiting, is that 26 of Nicholas Deal. The 21 of Shields has the inside lane. He's going to close the gap on the back bumper of your third place driver, the 12 of Nicholas Sachs. Once again, I do apologize. Allergies are kind of kicking my butt, so my voice is a little strained this afternoon, but I'm making it work. And if you're watching the truck race, I wonder in real life from the Charlotte Motor Speedway, I hope that they got that track dry and that race is underway. Hopefully, as the Spire truck is on the pole for that race with Corey Day, making his appearance in that truck, honoring Kyle Busch this afternoon. And once again, if you didn't hear the last broadcast, this weekend is Memorial Day weekend, so thanks every service member you see this weekend, because without them, we wouldn't have the freedoms we enjoy today. So huge thanks to all the military, past, present, and future, for what you're doing and what you will do for the country. And be safe out on the roads, as the roads are going to get busy, as with every holiday season. Be mindful of everybody around you, and as we see contact between the 25 of Risto and the 21, but they keep it going. This is the battle we're going to wait for right here. As I need to go to camera 2. My apologies. There we go. Much better action. I can see the whole pack now. And here they go down the backstretch. Your two teammates, the 16 and the 18, are leading in control like they were early on in the first 50-lap feature event we had this afternoon. 3 wide in the back of the pack. No, now we go back to 2 wide. Burcham under fire from the 25 of Risto. Risto's got the fast paint scheme behind him of Deal. As we see Shields getting a little loosey-goosey, keeping that truck straight. We'll see if these drivers can hold a pretty wheel in this 50-lap main event. As we see Risto and Deal bumper to bumper in the back. Down the backstretch they go, trying to make their way around. As we see the 21 shuffle out of line, that breaks the top 3 momentarily. Here comes that high line. Risto and Deal making it work. Now the 21's going to join the fight. No, the 21 goes low now. Those two of Risto and Deal trying to make that outside line work, and they are making it work masterfully. Single file they go. And like I said, folks, at the start of lap 17, I will throw a caution flag. We'll allow the field to regroup behind the pace car and bring them down for one more tribute here from the U.S.O.R.A and Reaper Studios team. It's our way of saying thank you, and we'll miss you, to the late, great Kyle Busch, who sadly passed away yesterday to an unknown illness. As we see the battle in the back of the pack heating up, this time by high, wide, and handsome is Nicholas Deal. Him and Risto trying to make it work, but they can't quite make it stick this time. Now we have Hunter Burcham. Thank goodness there's only one Burcham in this race, because my gosh, I said Burcham like 100 times last race. I'll probably say Burcham again another 100 times, but at least it'll only be about one of them. Now, a huge shout out to the Bertram brothers. They do a tremendous job in U.S.O.R.A and help promote the crap out of that. So if you need a fun league, head over to the U.S.O.R.A Discord channel. We'll try to get a link in the description below. For that, come race with us. We race 3 days a week, Mondays and Thursdays for the Cup, Fridays for the trucks, and on Wednesdays night, we just started a Dirt 358 modified season, a 10-race stretch for the summer run. So if you or anybody you know wants to drive a dirt car, head over to the U.S.O.R.A Discord channel and sign up. We are looking for participants. Also, as well, if you're looking for custom paint, we at the Reaper Studios team are also broadcast paint and race control, all of what your needs. We will get you sorted out and squared away. So feel free to send a paint request to all of our painters. As we've got a shuffle, we've got a scramble, a madhouse is here at Talladega. Bowman Gray can suck it. Here we go. Thought for a moment, Bertram thought he was going to make it 3 wide around the outside of Aiden Law. No, Aiden says no, not today. As we got this back storming around, they see Sharon in the backdrop. Or is that Morales? Yeah, that is Morales on the Here they go. They're trying to make that high line work. Law on the back bumper of that 17 is the 22 of Hunter Burcham. Burcham getting a good push. They're locked steady on that outside lane. A little bit of separation. The 17 gets a little squirrely as the rear tires come up off the ground, giving the push from the 22. The 19 of Christopher Lindsay trying to regroup from the horrendous first 50-lap race of the afternoon as he was caught up in the big one at the finish of that race, looking to do better this round. Back of the pack, not where I thought I'd see him this early on, is that 26 of Nicholas Deal. That Hornet nest the first 3. Ellis, Horton, and Sussex have all pulled away from this battle by 4 or 5 truck lanes coming off of 3 and 4. 2 by 2 in the back of the pack. Here they go trying to figure out which line to work. 3 rows 2 deep. 6 cars under a blanket. Here they come. They're closing down on the lead pack as the lead pack decides to break and regroup with the leaders. The pack all back together again. They're going to have to work their way around that lap down car of Isaac Morales. Where does Morales go? He will go to the high side to give that race lead group the inside lanes as they're going to storm around him into 3 and set sail into 4. Or does the 17 pick him up? No, they don't. They say see you later. Beautiful, another beautiful tribute paint scheme for Morales. But unfortunately, he is now 5 laps down, trying to stay with this pack, not to go any more laps down. Next car to go 1 lap down is that 10 of David Sharon. The front 3 still the same. 12 laps in. We're going to keep it locked steady here. Down the backstretch. Zigzagging up and down the backstretch, using every inch of asphalt they can. We see flames from the 25 truck of Risto pop out there a little bit. He let off the breathe the gas. Tried not to get into the back of the 21 of Shields. Now, don't look now, but the 26 of Deal has made his way through traffic. He's on the inside behind Risto. Risto looking strong early on like he was in the first 50-lap race. He's going to go to the high side. No, thinks the better of it. Has the 17 and the 26 come together a little bit down the front stretch. Into turn one. The field is really stretched out now as we see the 17 of Law now sort down below and the inside in the middle of Deal and Burcham. As that battle for the race lead is starting to heat up. Nicholas Sachs is looking a little racy. He's looking to pop out. Maybe, possibly. No. He stays slotted in line in that beautiful tribute paint scheme to the late, great Kyle Busch. Probably one of my favorite paint schemes of all time is that yellow M&M's car. It's iconic no matter where and what generation of car or version of paint scheme that was. Oh my goodness gracious. Little bit of latency happening this afternoon. Don't know where that was, but that was strange. As we have it locked on the 18 in second here of Brendan Horton. Horton looking to get on the podium yet again, let alone trying to win it. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is a points race. We will have points for this, but also it is a fun race. Typically, we don't run a doubleheader, but we're running a doubleheader this afternoon with two 50-lap main events. 64 times around, these drivers have gone around this super speedway. Their arms, their feet, their butts, their backs, everything is hurting. The top three still not changing since the drop of the green flag. Ellis, Horton, and Sachs glued together. Don't look now, but John Shields is back up there battling for the race lead. He looks a little loose. Oh no, don't look now. Risto and Deal pop back out once again, doing what they did last time. They're going to try to get the side draft, making that high line work. The 25 and 26 trucks, high, wide, and handsome around Talladega International Speedway. That allows the front. Now give Aiden Law the run. He's going to bring Burcham around the bottom of those two. Burcham and Law coming back on the prowl. This is the start of lap 16. One more time around, boys and girls, before we bring out the yellow in honor of Kyle Busch. As we see battle heating up there in the back. Chris Lindsay up in the fight around the inside. Risto and Deal trying to make it work. Now they have Morales locked onto their back bumper. Three trucks. Going into turn 3. As the 17 of Law goes to the high side. We're going to lock it here, folks. As we're about ready to throw the yellow flag. As soon as the drivers cross that start-finish line. Just like race 1 on lap 17, we're going to throw the caution and let the field regroup under caution as they come around the next time. For lap 18, they will stop on the front stretch. Who's driving that pace car? Jeff Bodine? Holy guacamole. What a great way to start this afternoon's second feature event. We've been clean and green thus far. This will give Isaac Morales one of his 5 laps back this afternoon when they resume racing after the brief intermission to pay our respects. As all the drivers come down pit road. Tires and fuel going in all these trucks. As we're going to take you on board to show you what it is from the driver's cockpit camera view, something I rarely do here in Reaper Studios Broadcasting. Just gives you a scope at how steep this track really is. On screen it doesn't make sense when you're looking at it that this track is that steep. It looks relatively flat when they're going 190 plus miles an hour in a pickup truck, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, John Shields, for allowing me to use your cockpit view to give the fans a quick glimpse of what you drivers face lap after lap here from the Talladega Superspeedway. Now, folks, as we did in race 1, lap number 18 is slowly coming to a close as these drivers are going to bring their trucks down the front stretch, parking in front of the grandstands. And we will take another moment of silence for the late, great Kyle Busch, we have many stories of Rowdy Nation. I, myself, a closet Kyle Busch fan. I've always admired what he has done. He's done so many amazing things for this sport. And it is a deep tragedy that we have lost Kyle Busch at the age of 41. Rowdy, we'll miss you. And cannot wait to see what Brexton will do in his racing career. And if you haven't heard the news, which I'm sure you have all over social media this afternoon, that Richard Childress has announced that the 8 will be retired momentarily until Brexton is old enough to compete in the Cup Series. The 33 car will adorn what used to be Kyle Busch's car. And unfortunately, this is another Dale Earnhardt senior moment in time for us in the racing community in NASCAR. It's been 25 years since we have had a death of somebody racing in an active series at this point. Quarter of a century that since we've lost the late great Dale Earnhardt, and now 25 years later we lost another great of driver who has many people convinced that he Padoop. Okay then. Sorry about that. Lost my train of start thought with that, but pretty cool that Richard Childress is putting the 8 away. for Brexton. Um, I know I personally be cheering on Brexton now, as Austin Hill will most likely finish the season out for that race team. Um, and kind of like Kevin Harvick did 25 years ago, Austin Hill is going to make his Cup Series and start um, in quite tragic fashion. So thoughts, prayers to everybody involved as we are about to go green, as we are racked and stacked. The 16 got a good jump. The 18 kind of spun his tires as we see that number 12 of Sask's looking strong early on. The top three are trying to find each other, but right now, lock steady is the 18 and the 22. Burcham locked onto the back bumper of his good friend of Horton. Horton looking strong, like he does every time we come to a drafting track, no matter if it's with Reapers or U.S.O.R.A. This track just suits his style of driving, as we have the 12 and 16 now making their push. And don't look now, Aiden Law joining the fight. Aiden looking to have a great run this in featured race number 2. And don't look now, but Nicholas Deal cutting his way back up the fact. This will be 20 laps down. We'll have 30 to go this time by. You thought race 1 was going to be good? How about race number 2? 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. Isaac Morales caught on the back of this. 4 laps down. A little bit of separation. The 17 goes up behind his good buddy Nicholas Deal. Deal looking strong in the outside. Second car back in the Lucas Oil Chevrolet, as he's going to try to look out the outside of Burcham. No, Burcham says, nope. Locks back onto the front bumper of Deal. As I realized I didn't do this last race, but this lap by, we're going to do wide open broadcasting. As we have a new race leader, welcome to the party, Brandon Horton, back out in front in the Reaper Studio number 18, Patriotic Truck. Fitting that he's running that paint scheme this afternoon because, like I said early on in the broadcast before we hit green, it is Memorial weekend. So party hardy, but stay safe. As we see a cluster storm happening behind the top three as they have broken away once again. From third on back is what we call the Hornet's Nest. Welcome back, David Cherone, back up to the front. High, wide, and handsome is he as well. You can feel the intensity starting to ramp up as we approach the halfway point. As Deal is going to put a bumper to the back of the 25. Sends him a little wide. They both gathered up. As we have Sharon looking good. On that outside, he's got help from Risto. Welcome back, Donald Rizzo, as we see the 18 slide up in dramatic fashion to block off the outside. Back down to the inside, cutting off the inside run. Here we go, the two Granger Ford F-150s going at it. Side by side is Ellis and Sharon. Last race we had Biffle on Biffle violence to finish the race off. Will we see that again in race number 2 this afternoon? A much clearer race for feature race number 2 this afternoon. This is the battle to watch. Third on back. As we go high over the backstretch here. As we see Horton. Oh, little contact from that outside. They have to check up as we go 3 wide, almost 4 wide in the back of the pack. Holy cow, they managed to keep it straight. And when I tell you action happens fast here, folks, that is as fast as it can happen without a wreck. That all started when the 18-year race leader decided to block up and hit the runoff on the high line. Only a millisecond later, that would have been catastrophe. Horton under fire from the outside of Sharon. Sharon with Risto. Risto's got Deal. Lock steady is that top lane. The inside lane has some separation. That's going to give the run to the three trucks on the outside. That outside lane is strong like a locomotive, powering their way around the outside. Going to take the high line into 3 as we have a blinker in the back of the field. It is Aiden Law. That high line is working. But don't look now, that bottom lane is back up and rolling. Here comes the inside locomotive. 3 cars now locked, 4 cars now. Bumper to bumper in the bottom lane. Oh, separation from the inside lane as the 21 of Shields gets a little loose. That gives the advantage to the outside lane. Welcome back to the front, David Sharon, as he's going to lead the lap as we see Aiden Law dripping. Oh, no. Don't look now. But Risto is in the wall heavily. What happened to Risto? Risto off pace. What happened? He was in second. Let's slow this down into turn 1. Gets a push from Deal and hard into the outside retaining wall into turn 1. He will have to bring that truck back down to the attention of his pit crew. Oof. Not what you wanted to see from him. He's going to tow that back to pit road as we see the field thundering by the start-finish line one time again. Don't look now, but on the outside is the Kyle Busch M&M's paint scheme. Oh, as we see Law shuffled out, or was... No, that was not Law. That was Lindsay. That was pushed out. They regroup at Horton. And Sachs going at it for the race lead. 4 cars to 3. Who's going to have the momentum into 3? That inside line is formed up a little bit better. Braden Horton not where he wants to do. He's been in that situation before. Gets it. Good run off of 4. Going to maintain. Oh, we're going to have contact. Deal's going to go around. Deal hard into the wall as we got a caution flag. As Shields is involved in that, we're going to take another look at this. That started with Deal. My apologies, folks. Let's see. Oh, no. The 50 just gets a run. Oh, no. Deal tries to make that inside line work, not realizing that the 10 was there, Sharon was there, and just, oh, the 81 gets involved. Oh, no, and just calamity. Oh, as we see 21 go through the grass. Heavy, heavy contact for all those drivers, and that will bring out our second caution of this afternoon, but the first for cause. I was wondering when we were going to get that, but, you know, it happens as, unfortunately, those drivers do have a fast repair this afternoon once again. So these drivers could use that fast repair. As we do see, Hunter Burcham is 3 laps down into the rears now, unfortunately. Not the second part of the race he wanted now, as Donald Risto, after the contact from Deal, sent him into the wall. He is down 2 laps now, as we're going to only have 8 cars remaining on the lead lap. Who's your pick, folks? As we go to our spotter stand, as we see Morales going to stay out and get one of his lap back, that'll put him 3 laps down. As the field makes their way down to the attention of their crew, the M&M's Toyota Tundra drops down into the first lane on the pit road. 3, 2, 1, perfect marks. Perfect stop for Horton in the box. Law slowly creeping his way. He's going to get the attention. Right side's going up on the 16. The 12 down and away. 18 down and away. Who's going to win the battle off of pit road? Ooh. I think the 12 got him that time. Nope. The 18 did get it. It did look like Sachs did get him, but apparently not. Brandon Horton comes off of pit road first. So we will see how Shields and Jerome are still on pit road getting that damage fixed. As the cars stayed lap down cars of Morales and Hunter Burcham stay out to try to get one of their many laps down back on the track, as our race leader is that third car in your screen. As welcome back, Hunter Burcham. Back into the fight. As we're going to get the wave around from the number 11 of Morales. He should get another wave around, as well as Hunter Burcham. So they should get the wave around this time by on the pace car. We'll see if Morales will get the wave around. Burcham as well gets a wave around. That will put Hunter Burcham 1 lap down. He'll be the first car 1 lap down, as Morales is now only 3 laps down. As we do see the 21 of Shields up ahead of them. As we've got them stacked, and we've got them racked here on the high banks of the Talladega Super Speedway. The Alabama gang, long straightaway here. This is so wide, you could land a Boeing 747 comfortably down the middle of the backstretch. You could land and you could take off with how long this backstretch is in a commercial jet. But would you want to? No. We have seen many a times these vehicles here in the past 75 years of NASCAR get airborne and fly through the air on their own here. Let's leave planes out of it. As we have Brendan Horton on the inside of road number 1. To his outside is Nicholas Sasks. I can't say your name right now. I'm so sorry, Nicholas. My allergies are just not allowing me to get that enunciation out, so I do apologize. I'm not trying to do it on purpose. Inside of row number 2 is Chris Ellis. To his outside will be the 17 of Aiden Law. That is your top 4 as we get ready to hit the green flag restart. Don't look now, but on the inside of row number 3 is that 19 of Christopher Lindsay. Nicholas Deal used his fast repair, and he is out there. Let's see what type of restart. Green is out this time. Good restart for the 18. Little separation. The top 3 is separated a little bit from the pack as the whole pack is separated from each other. Now the draft will take. Looky, the top 3 glued back to each other's bumper one more time. Let's see, these 3 have worked together well all afternoon, but as we see, the lap counter is slowly ticking down. Ladies and gentlemen, this is lap 32 of 50. The action is about to get cranked to an 11. Excuse me. As we got a blinker in the back. Don't look now, ladies and gentlemen. Putting the pressure on in that 4th position in the 19, Mossy Yoke. Dodge Ram is that of Chris Lindsay. We'll see what Chris Lindsay can do now that he's in the top 4 now, looking strong as this race is coming to a close this afternoon. He's going to try to drop Deal. No, he goes in line, gets on the front bumper of the other camo. You can't see me car. It looks like just 4 tires are rolling around at 200 miles an hour. That 19 and 17 are so closely painted that here in the booth it is hard to tell without looking at live timing and scoring. I cheat. As the front 2 are locked bumper to bumper, make that the top 3 bumper to bumper. The 18, 16, and the 12 truck all running that low line, wrapping the bottom. Don't look now, ladies and gentlemen, but the man who was involved in that crash that had heavy front end damages trying to make the outside line work. Battling for the 2nd position now. Oh no, the drafting partner is gone for Horton. Horton picks up the other drafting partner he had early on in the afternoon. The 12 of Nicholas Ask is down there in the bottom. He's going to park that Toyota Tundra on the back bumper of that Silverado as we got a 3-wide battle for the race lead down this long straightaway. Here we go. Oh no, we're going to have 1, 2, 3 cars around as we see the 22 of Bircham going around, and I am going to throw the caution for that, ladies and gentlemen. Momentarily, give me a quick. We're going to be locked on here with Hunter Bircham. We're going to see what happens to create this caution. Here they are. They get a good run down on the inside. 3 wide, and this is, I think, where trouble ensues. Oh, he just gets to the push of the 17. Law tries to save it, then the 21 of Shields gets in the back of him. And look at this truck pick up. Ooh, hard in the inside for Law. And ooh, driver's side hard into the inside retaining wall for Bircham as well. And unfortunately, I do think that's going to be the end of the day for Bircham. Ooh. That truck almost did go over, folks. And let me tell you, that is terrifying. As we see Bircham limping that damaged Toyota Camry, honoring the late, great Kyle Busch down the backstretch. He's going to have to rest. He's not happy with the 21, and rightfully so. Just a push gone wrong, and unfortunately, Bircham pays the price. The 81's got a little wrinkle down there as well for Isaac Morales. The 16 honoring Greg Biffle and that iconic 16 and iconic Granger paint scheme. Don't look now, but the man who got away from that accident clean and without a scratch is the 19 of Chris Lindsay in that 5th spot. To his outside, rocking that 50 Granger paint scheme. Also honoring the late, great Greg Biffle is David Sharon. Ahead of him in that 3rd spot is Nicholas Deal. In 2nd sits Nicholas Sachs. Donald Risto, 1 lap down, will get the wave around this time by. He'll be back on the lead lap to put 9 cars on the lead lap. And your race leader, with 15 circuits around left, is the 18 of Brenton Horton. As we see, Risto gets the wave around. So put Risto back on the lead lap. He'll come back around, and I do think, yeah, everybody that was involved in that accident is on pit road. As we're going to get the white flag on this caution period next time by, and we will re-rack them 2 by 2. As this caution period gives the drivers an opportunity to take a drink, I'm going to take one as well, or keep moisture in my throat. I promise, folks, I'm trying to get through this last 50 lap race this afternoon. Try not to lose my voice, but I can hear it getting scratchier and scratchier as we take laps by. So thank you for staying tuned. If you have stayed tuned, to all those viewers that are watching, I do thank it, even if it is 1 or 2 of you. It means that at least some of you like the action that I provide for you, and I know we're doing our best over here at Reaper Studios to bring you the best content we can. And after the season is over here in the Cup Series, we'll definitely be bringing you better content. I do promise you. The quality of broadcasting will go through the roof. We'll have way better overlays. I do promise it's all in the works. So stay tuned for that in the coming weeks. We'll get the green flag with 13 laps to go this afternoon. As the lights are off that pace car, that means we're going green the next time they come by the tri-oval. It's a packed grandstand here from the Talladega Superspeedway. As we see Burcham back in the back of the pack, 2 laps down. As we see David Sharon catching up to the back of the pack. As well as we see the 21 of John Shields making his way back around. Let's see if he can catch the field before they go green. It's a long way around the super speedway. Will he catch will he catch the field before they go green? I sure hope so, for the sake of the 21. As we see Bristow back there in the back of the pack. David Sharon catching back up as well, as we see that ticker live. Time is scoring, tracking down the 21's time. He's eating into the deficit. He might catch him as soon as we go green. He might get a run. Will this be a Kyle Busch moment like he had at Daytona all them years ago when he timed the restart perfectly and blew the doors off the outside? One of the greatest memories of all time, as no, he does catch him before we go restart, so he will not get a Kyle Busch repeat. Wouldn't it be something to see one of those M&M trucks do a Kyle Busch from the back of the pack to the lead? Maybe, who knows? We still have time. As I said, we will get 13 times around this massive 2.6 mile super speedway. The field in the hands of the control car, the 18 of Brenton Horton. Brenton Horton slowly getting on the gas. Green is in the air. We are green once again with 13 circuits around. Good restart on the outside of Sachs. Here's Sachs trying to make it work by him out. himself can't quite make it stick, or he does. He clears the 18 of Horton. Horton has to check up, which means the 26 checks up. That allows the two camo trucks to go around the outside. The 19 of Lindsay, followed by the 17 of Aiden Law. Law looking strong early on now, pushing the 19 of Lindsay. Lindsay, welcome to the front of fresh air. Deal on the inside behind Brenton Horton. As we see Risto and Sharon back there pushing each other, trying to catch back up. As we see our race leader going to control both lanes. Nicholas Sass controlling both lanes at the moment in time. Goes down, catches his drafting partner from early on. Flip-flop they went. The 18 now pushing the 12. And don't look now, ladies and gentlemen, but Nicholas Deal in the 26 is on the inside battling for that third position. That outside still looking strong, and don't look now, but the two that were involved in the caution are nose to tail behind our two camo painted trucks. And here they go, that inside line has formed up. Little loosey-goose as Deal's gonna go high. This is a move he did early on in the first feature. Back down to the inside lane. He's just trying to pull that outside lane, trying to make it work. Did he show his card at where he's going to make the move? Time will tell. As we are completing lap 39 of 50, folks. Strap in and buckle up because we're on for a roller coaster of a finish. Sussex up in front, followed by Horton, followed by Deal, followed by Ellis. Welcome back to the front of the field. As we see Ellis, he's going to go to the high side, try to pick up Lindsay. Can they make it stick? Four trucks, on the outside. Ooh, Bircham giving a push. Ooh, they saved it. Bircham pushing everything that truck has as we're going to have three wide to the outside. The two... Oh, hold on. Hold on to it, Ellis. He's going to try to side draft and pull him back. As he and the 17 make contact. And the 17 of Aiden Law gets into the wall. Now he'll regroup, but that outside line is now essentially dead. And don't look now, but Nicholas Deal back up to third. And don't look now, there comes the 21 of John Shields back into the fight. Having been brought up into that accident, these drivers are now competing for all it's worth. The gloves are off as we are under 10 laps to go. As we are 10 laps to go on the dot. Ooh, the 21 of Shields goes low. He pushes the 16 of Shields out the way. Shields. Holy cow, that's a man on the mission, folks. We'll see what happens as we are going to be seeing 8 to go this time by. 20 miles of racing left in our doubleheader weekend here for the U.S.O.R.A Truck Series from the Talladega Superspeedway. It's been fun, it's been entertaining, but I hope you're strapped in and using only the edge of your seat because that's all you're going to need as we hit the last 10 laps. The gloves are off. Your partners, your friends don't mean anything. It is every man for himself. Make the move when you can and where you can. We saw in the first feature race that cautions can come out when you least expect it, like coming to the checkered flag. As we see Chris Lindsay diving to the outside of the 16 of Ellis. Ellis kind of checks him up out there. No. Oh, no, we're going to be turning. The 16's turned. He keeps it straight. We stay green. Can he keep it straight? Yes, he does, but he is going to lose the draft. Not what the 16 of Ellis wanted. As we go back up to this battle for the race lead, heating up. We have 6 cars under a blanket. Make that 7. Chris Lindsay, like a slingshot on the outside of Risto. Risto not going to block him. And I don't think this is going to work out for Chris Lindsay unless he has help. We see Sharon thinking about going on the outside. No. Still side by side is Christopher Lindsay. And he drops back in the line, and there's Aiden Law. And unfortunately, Chris Ellis is out of contention unless we see a caution. Which, folks, I guarantee it, we probably will have. Commentator's curse. But I hope not. I hope I am wrong. And I hope these guys keep it clean and green till the finish. Will there be a last lap finish? Pass? Photo finish? 4 wide, 6 wide, or wrecking across the line? It's a gamble, and we'll see what happens. As we have 7 laps to go. 16 miles around this amazing facility we call Talladega Superspeedway. 32 degrees of banking make up the turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 16 degrees of banking down the front stretch. As we see that high line starting to form back up between Chris Lindsay and Aiden Law. And don't look now, but there's Hunter Burcham. Even though he's 2 laps down, he is pushing like he is battling for the race lead. As we see Chris Lindsay back now up into the 3rd position on the outside of Brenton Horton. Horton gets that inside line hooked up. They stay locked steady for that 2nd spot. Sachs looking good, controlling the field. He's mirror driving like a son of a right now. He's got one eye focused out of the windshield, one eye on that rearview mirror. He's driving cross-eyed, I can assure you, folks. The spotters are calling multiple shots every 3.5 seconds around this speedway. Spotters telling you where the drivers are. The outside lane is making a run. 3 cars are making it work. Using that side draft through the corners to get a good exit off of 3 and 4. Don't look now, but we're going to have a battle for the race lead heating up. Chris Lindsay has lost his drafting help momentarily. But it's not going to matter. He's got that outside lane working for him using the side draft. As we have 5 laps remaining, folks. 5 laps remaining as we see the 21 of Shields looking underneath the 26. Doesn't make it work, as that's what happened last time to bring out the caution flag. As we see Law and Lindsay on the outside still. Those 2 camo painted trucks trying to make that high line work. 2 by 2, 3 rows deep at the back of this pack. Oh, little contact between... Who was that? Oh, easy, boys. Easy does it. Horton gives a huge shot to the back bumper of the 12. He's going to push him out there, but don't look now. Even with the damage on the rear end, Law is pushing the ever-living tarnations out of the back bumper of Chris Lindsay. Now Risto goes up behind Burcham. We got 4 cars on the outside. 4 cars to 5. Outside 4, inside 5. Here they go. Now they flip. Oh, we see Law get heavily pushed. As we see Horton getting some air on the front end. As we see... Oh, no, keep it steady, boys. We do keep it steady as we had a change for the race lead while we were watching that. Christopher Lindsay leading his first lap around the doubleheader weekend. The 2 camo paint schemes with the lap down of Burcham have got a huge lead. Here we go. Back that hornet nest heating up. Oh, Law pushing Lindsay really good into 1 and 2. Those top 3 are starting to slowly pull away, but that top line has momentum. On the outside, looking for the 4th spot is the 25 of Risto. Risto getting the side draft off the number 12 of Sachs. Sachs not looking happy to be in this far back. He got shuffled out. Will they try to make it 3 wide down the backstretch into turn 3? No, they keep it locked steady. They are glued together. Deal get a little squirrely. Can he save it? Yes, he does. He still stays locked up on the back bumper of Risto. Risto's getting pushed from the 26 of Deal. Deal wants to make this interesting as we see that number 12 going to the outside of the other M&M's paint scheme. The 2 Kyle Busch paint schemes going at it between Burcham and Sachs. Sachs backs up there. He's trying to make that high line work to get back up to the front. And don't look now, but Brenton Horton in that bottom lane in that 4th truck back. He's going to have Deal slots on. He abandons Risto and Sachs. they're going to say bye-bye. As we see a battle for the race lead, no thing's better, but here comes Horton. He's going to get stuck in the middle. Not what he wanted. He's going to say, Sarnar, set sails for the back. Anchors away. He's going to have to regroup. With only coming to the white flag this time by, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have 2.6 miles of racing left. Here from the high banks. What will happen? It's anybody guess. Who makes a move early? We're going to go high wide over this super speedway. Try to cover all the action as we see beating and banging from third on back. We're going to catch all the action right here, folks. We're going to angle this camera right around the Hunter Burcham and Nicholas Deal battle. Here they go. Chris Lindsay is looking in his mirror. Sees his teammate behind him. Does that truck top out? Don't look now, but here comes a run from the outside. Horton pushing the 12 of Sachs. Sachs and Horton coming to the outside. No, the front two pull away momentarily as we see jogging for position. That 12 and 18 lock steady, but folks, coming off of turn 4 for the final time. Will Aiden Law make the move on Chris Lindsay, or will Chris Lindsay take the win as we got 3 wide in the back of the pack? Here we go, 3 wide. No, and we got contact. The Burcham goes around. And ladies and gentlemen, his first win in the trucks here at Talladega Superspeedway will be the 19 of Chris Lindsay. From the back of the pack, he stuck around, kept the nose of that Dodge Ram clean. Got a push from his friend Aiden Law. As the 2 gentlemen behind him battled all day and looked heavily. Your race winner is the 19 of Christopher Lindsay. Brenton Horton P3. And in P number 2, Nicholas Sachs. What great driving we saw this afternoon in feature race number 2. What a fun race, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you. What a way to celebrate that one. Holy guacamole. Wow, what a fun race. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to pull the top 3 into the booth like I promised. Starting with one of my teammates. I should make him drag his ass in here himself. But, you know, to each their own. But first and foremost, the man that is one of the owners here of the U.S.O.R.A Racing League. I want to do this backwards. Normally I start with third, but this afternoon we're going to start with our race winner because I want to hear how excited this man is to have won one of his own races. Please welcome into the booth your race winner of the doubleheader this afternoon, the 19 of Christopher Lindsay. Chris, what an amazing race this afternoon for you. I know you have to be ecstatic.
Oh, I am beyond ecstatic. Holy cow. I feel like a little kid again, man. I'm shaking. Holy cow.
You know what? I knew it was coming for you, Chris, just like I knew the first one too. And I have to give you a huge thank you for allowing me to be a part of this with you guys and helping grow both of our companies. Tremendous to see you up front, and you and Law, man, you guys were bumper to bumper all afternoon.
Oh, man, I tell you, huge shout out to Aiden, huge shout out to Hunter. He was my spotter in my ear, and Aiden was pretty much my engine. He was pushing me right along. And, thanks to you guys at Reaper Hunter and, U.S.O.R.A being such a great conglomerate that I'm very happy that we could all do this together.
Yeah, it's fun, and we had a even though we had small fields, it was pretty tremendous racing out there. And I know, unfortunately, feature number 1 didn't go your way, unfortunately, with that last lap, kerfuffle. But did you think you had a shot with 10 to go?
I never think I have a shot, and you know what? It's funny because you just never really know on these super speedways, and Again, shout out to my teammates helping me out with this and pushing me for that win. If it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't have been in P1.
Absolutely. What a heck of a way for your team. I'm very proud, like I said, to call you a friend and a coworker. And man, it's about time I get to call you a race winner, man.
Heck yes, man. Now I just got to talk. Now I get to call James.
Exactly. We get to brag to him and never let him live it down. Well, Chris, I'm gonna keep you in the booth for this being a special evening, and honoring the late great Kyle Busch. And I know you and me talked a little bit before we went on air this afternoon about what he meant to this sport and what he meant to you. And tell me, probably give me your top two favorite Kyle Busch memories that you have.
So my favorite top two is first off, I fell in love with racing because of people like Kyle Busch and the whole Busch family. Kurt Busch, and when I was younger, this was a few years ago. My first ever race was at Pocono Raceway, and I tell you, the sound of those engines, but watching the cars burn it down, and that's where Kyle took P1 that year. He also won the championship that year, so that was one of my big memories. And then the other one is, all of his uh, what are they called? They're the
Rowdy
his
Nation.
radio chats. His radio chats.
Oh yeah.
Um, he always has a one liner, and the biggest thing is he's a businessman, but he was a very smart businessman because he knew how to run not only his own business but other people's business. So those are the two things that really step out to me for Kyle Busch.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think personally for me, I think, oh, what was it about, let's say 12 years ago when him and Samantha started doing the IVF stuff. For me personally, it was, my sister was going through a battle with getting pregnant as well. And I think for me personally, I think that's kind of when I started becoming a closet Kyle Busch fan. I started following him on all of his social media platforms, and I think what really sealed the deal for me, and I think you can relate, is when he became a dad. Just that change in him that brought him to somehow legendary status from that arrogant, cocky, early 20-year-old kid that we all grew up watching. To this now, this dude is dedicated. He has a passion. He has a purpose, and I think ultimately, I think the biggest thing that I'll miss, and I mean, you might feel the same, is just he was such an advocate for so many things, and especially just developing the talent of young drivers.
Oh, 110%. Couldn't agree with you more. He was an advocate not only for the people who didn't have a voice, but even the people that did have a voice and don't stand up. Like that's who Kyle Busch was. Like he wasn't afraid to tell you, how it is. And with him with the IVF stuff and the foundation that he started and all that with him and his wife, some they started a legacy, and I hope she carries it on. And you know Brexton is coming up next. Like he's already a fan of my book. He has been because he's such a good young racer. But now, like once he gets to the Cup Series, if that's the path he so chooses, um, then he's already got a fan by me. So, um, yeah, he's a
Yeah,
big
yeah,
advocate.
yeah, absolutely. And we're gonna keep you in the booth. I know you got a team, but you made me suffer. Now I'm gonna make you suffer as we're gonna bring my teammates into the booth here. Uh, I did promise him that I would talk to him after the last race, but unfortunately, I didn't think the next session would go up as as fast as it did. So we're gonna go bring in my teammate Brent Horton to the booth.
All right.
All
Hey
right, I
man,
promised,
am I
man.
driving okay?
No, you're
Driving good.
driving like
Park.
shit.
Yeah.
Welcome to the booth,
Oh, you
Brenton. I promised you. I told you.
you didn't forget. You,
I
you
did
better not
not.
forget the number 12.
Ah, How can I forget? I'm gonna bring him in next. Don't worry, don't worry. Uh, yeah, you look strong early on in the second 50 lap feature we had this afternoon. I mean, what differently could you have done?
Nothing, honestly. I mean, me, Nicholas Sisak, and Chris Ellis worked together the entire race, and just I was throwing some nasty blocks just to keep us up front, jumping up to the high line, and it just Chris backed out. If we had Chris at the end, I think Chris Lindsay had enough of a gap right at the end that he still would have won, but it definitely would have put us in a
Contention.
different 1, 2, 3, 4 finish. It was an awesome race. It was a lot of fun, especially racing with having a couple guys to work with that aren't specifically teammates. It was a lot of fun. It was super fun.
Okay, so here's my question. I asked Chris the same question. I'll ask you the same one. If you had to choose your top two Kyle Busch memories, what would they be?
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yes.
And
And probably car was great. Yeah, car was great. I can't remember what he said after that, but I know his
uh,
car was great and
Car
so
was
on.
great.
yep, car was great.
Yep.
Car was great.
uh,
You can't beat his
he,
angry interviews and
he,
telling it how it was. It was some of the best
absolutely.
you could ever ask for. He didn't sugarcoat it.
He definitely will earn the moniker of the NASCAR meme king.
Absolutely. He took that sugar coating right off them M&Ms and them Skittles.
uh, I am so glad that you brought up that Skittles paint scheme because, man, when he had that Skittles paint scheme, it was like lights out for people. Like, yeah, he was great in the M&M's car, but for whatever reason, when he brought that Skittles paint scheme out, it was like a switch was flipped.
He told everybody to taste the rainbow.
Oh God. Yeah, no, true. Yeah, he said, "Here, taste the rainbow." Um,
Yep.
and it's one of those things, and we've talked about it, on our own personal Discord and stuff. Like, it doesn't matter what background you come from. Um, Somebody that influential in the automotive sports industry, and I kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but as we wrap up the broadcast, I really do want to say that this afternoon, along with what we did for Greg Biffle in December, is to pay tribute to all the automotive icons we've lost. Three that stand out for me, obviously, are Biffle in December. Um, and I follow, and I know you do too, Brendan. You follow the 1320 guys, and they unfortunately lost Kyle Loftus. Not even, I think, 14 days ago. And then now we lost one of the greatest racers, dare I say, ever in the history of NASCAR. So this was truly to represent them and honor them, and it's the Reaper Studios way of saying thank you as well as U.S.O.R.A. So
Yeah, absolutely. It was hard not to like him. I mean, growing up, I liked Jeff Gordon, but it was hard not to like Kyle Busch, especially in the recent years with having his family involved and everything like that. Like it, I don't even know the guy. And I'm still at a loss for words and feel for what happened. Like it's crazy.
well, and and I
So
think I think
I was glad to run the 18 tonight and be able to run up front most of the race and do that for Kyle Busch.
yeah, absolutely. And Chris, you got any questions for this young man?
Yeah, actually, I do. I watch your racecraft. I watch you guys all the time, and you're exceptionally well at what you do. And I also like to get this out there with these broadcasts and stuff. Is for the newer drivers that are coming up and watching this and learning this craft. What's one bit of information you would love to give somebody that you didn't know coming up into this?
Ooh.
Mm, it's kind of off a little bit, but don't be scared to do it. Like I didn't have any friends doing this. It was just something I liked. I liked watching NASCAR. I was like, I want to do it. And now I just kind of watch as we go through races and kind of watch what people don't like. Like here at Talladega, people do not like when you pinch them down to the yellow line. They do not like it. If you do that, you will have the run on the outside and you will scoot past them out of 3 and 4 every time. So make yourself uncomfortable. Like for me, getting in this was uncomfortable, and putting it out there, like it's kind of different for where I'm from. Nobody does this. It's a video game. It's a kids, like everybody thinks it's a kids thing, but to me it's fun. I relax doing it. I have a lot of fun in this league. U.S.O.R.A has been great. Chris, you've been great. I love it. So I appreciate you guys.
I
Oh, we
also,
appreciate you.
while we were talking, I brought John Shields up into the booth as he came into the second feature race this afternoon. So, welcome to the broadcast booth there, John, and quite an adventurous race for you, but you ended up finishing fifth.
Yeah, it was definitely something that I was trying to be patient with all night long. I missed the first race and schedules just didn't work out, but second race came out and got caught up in a few incidents and then just worked my way through with repair and damage without using the fast repairs. So was trying to save it for the end and really didn't need it.
Absolutely, and I don't know if you've been listening to the broadcast at all. Well, we've been interviewing people here at post race, but I don't know your background here with NASCAR and how much you've been following that, but how are you dealing with as an automotive fan and race fan with the news of Kyle Busch passing?
Um, it's definitely something that was not expected. Um, I've never been a Kyle Busch fan. I did support him a bit as a JGR fan, but something something was a little off with all of it, and I'm just kind of trying to piece things together. And he's definitely a big black hole that's going to be missed in the sport, and I'm not sure how things are going to turn out. But man, he's a big icon, and that's going to be missed throughout the league.
Yeah, couldn't have said it myself, and we'll wrap up this broadcast here real quick. And I just want to say, it's having been somebody who's been in the racing world myself with driving late models, and I had the privilege of driving with Matt Kenseth during my formative years in the late stocks at Madison International Speedway, and one thing I did learn about the racing family is that it doesn't matter how long or what part of how you're involved, is that we're still one giant dysfunctional family, and it takes something like this to really make us all take a step back and realize how precious and fragile life really is. And I don't think there'll be a day going forward that many of us won't continue to share memories. But I just do want to say that my heart and condolences truly go out to his wife and kids, but most importantly his parents. I don't think people realize that enough, that it's not natural in life for parents to bury their children, and I think that that's something to take away from this, is that as I'm a parent myself, and I know that Brendan and Chris can relate with me on this, and that I couldn't imagine doing that myself. So it's with heavy hearts that I know that everybody at U.S.O.R.A and here at Reapers send our condolences to the Busch family as well as his parents.
Absolutely.
And I
Yeah,
think,
it's a dark hole that you don't really get. I mean, it's somebody you don't really know and everything. It just you still feel it. It's a hole you didn't think you would understand.
Well, it's
yeah,
like I had to explain to my wife. She's been broken up about this for ever since she heard the news, and we follow these people's lives every day, every week. We see their job, we see what they do every day, every week, and we're so involved with them that they become like our family, like our very close friends. Even though they don't know us or they have no idea who we are, we still feel like so a part of their family because they share so much with us. And it's like losing like your best, like losing your dog. It hits home really hard.
it really does. And I
Yep,
couldn't
absolutely.
I couldn't have said it better myself. It's it's kind of weird, like you said, like they're total strangers to us, even though I've had the privilege to meet many, stock car drivers in my life. Um, just being blessed to be part of the community myself, like I said, and it doesn't seem real. Like it, at 41 years old, you don't think of somebody just dying at 41. 41, that's still really young in the broad spectrum of life. And correct me if I'm wrong, but like that just doesn't happen.
It almost feels like a weight on your shoulders about it.
Like
Like
Yeah.
it does to me. It feels like a weight on my shoulders. I can't do anything about it, but
and
just to feel for Brexton, Lennox, Sam, like I feel for Brexton. I hope somebody, Kurt or Kevin Harvick, anybody steps up and helps him
yeah,
get to
and
where he can be because that kid's got some potential.
and you make a great point with the kids. And I know we're kind of getting off on a tangent with this broadcast, but you know what? This is the time where I think, even in real life broadcasting, it's just kind of out on tangent these days. We're all in disbelief. Um, I don't know about y'all, but like in the same respect as like I know that he's gone, but at the same time I'm like, is he really though? Like it feels almost fictional. Like he's gonna come back. Like
Like you're gonna wake up from a
Yep,
bad
right
dream
there with
tomorrow.
you.
yeah, like it's the saying legends never die. Like it it's like the Greek. Like the gods, they don't ever die, type of thing. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things, where it's
A hard pill to swallow.
I mean, yeah, it's just been, the end of 2025 and now the beginning of 26. It's been really hard on the automotive family. Like, we lost three huge, I mean, huge pioneers. The humanitarian work that Greg did. Nobody will ever come close to doing what he was able to do. Um, look at all the foundations like, Bundle of Joy that Kyle Busch and his wife Samantha started. You look at what, 1320s was able to do with all their, charity work that they did. It's just, these larger than life people that are the same as me and you every day, they wake up, they do their job, and to them, it's a job, you know? Like, at the end of the day, that's what they did for a living. That's what they're passionate for. Um, and I think we as a society, I think, tend to forget that at the end of the day that like they know the risks you know um, being a stock car driver is not easy. um, it's dragging on your family and your social life. And and I think you said it the best. Chris, and you basically use the same word as surreal. you know it's that question.
Yeah.
Is it doesn't it feels surreal. Like tomorrow we'll wake up, and
Yep.
it's that same concept of what is Monday. Monday's Memorial Day. I, this weekend here in the NASCAR community, and I can say this as a definite that I know this is how it's going to work, that this Memorial Day weekend will never be the same. Not only will we honor those who have served, are serving, and will serve, but also too that this will always be the weekend that pulls the NASCAR community and racing community together the hardest.
Yes.
So it doesn't feel real, and I don't know about y'all, but I mean it's gonna be awfully hard to watch the rest of the season.
Yeah,
uh,
I told the wife that I said it just something about watching NASCAR this weekend doesn't feel the same.
yeah,
It doesn't
no,
feel right.
it
It doesn't feel
It'll
right.
be the first time in 10 years without Kyle Busch in a race.
and it will mark
NASCAR
the
Cup race will be the first time in 10 years.
and it will mark the end of an era, um, because he was dominant,
Greatness.
you
End
know.
of greatness right there.
And I don't care what you say about Austin Hill, but I feel so bad for him. Like I personally am not a fan of Austin Hill, but he is basically going to go through 25 years and 6 months to the day after Kevin Harvick had to literally drop his career and fill the shoes of one of the greatest drivers of all time. And now it's another situation 25 years later that's happening again. So let me ask you, as race fans, what is that going to do to the mentality of that young driver coming up?
Well, that's what's going to build him, and we'll see what kind of, first off, man he is, and then we'll also see what kind of driver he is.
Brenton?
And it really doesn't matter even what he does in this race. He's just, like I said earlier, it's a big weight on his shoulders. He's trying to fill shoes that he has honestly no business filling yet, and he knows that. Everybody knows that.
Yep, everybody
So
does.
Is it going to be the story ending where Kevin Hart goes out there and wins the race and has the 3 flag flying? Probably not. But somebody's going to win that race, and I can guarantee there will be an 8 flag flying out that window on Sunday.
Yeah. John, you got anything to add about this?
I mean, just listening to what you guys have had to say, and this does take me back to 2001 when we lost Dale Earnhardt. And although it's the Daytona 500, now it's the Coca-Cola 600, those two races will be synonymous with great losses for the history of NASCAR. I'm not sure how Austin Hill is going to pan out, but obviously we saw how Kevin Harvick panned out, and I hope Austin Hill has the same trajectory as Kevin Harvick, and we can pick things up and try to heal after this weekend.
I couldn't have said it better myself. And with that, gentlemen, I think I don't have anything more to say. I think John pretty much nailed the lid on the coffin, so to speak. So, with that being said, my name is Justin Wilkes. Thanks for joining here on the Reaper's second YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out. Thank you to Chris Lindsay and all the gentlemen over at U.S.O.R.A, as well as all my teammates over here at Reaper Studios. This has been a production of Reaper Studios. Once again, my name is Justin Wilkes. We will see you next. When do we race again, Chris? Next
Friday.
Next Friday in the Truck Series.
Oh.
No, we have a Cup race, the
Oma.
championship coming up. So stay tuned for that one.
Championship at Auto Club.
Auto Club.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that. We will have that here. Is that Monday or Tuesday, Chris? Is that Monday or Thursday? Sorry.
Monday. I think it's Monday.
Nice. All right. Well, you heard it here, folks.
Hey, it's a howdy, let's get rowdy this weekend.
And with that, we're going to end it off on a high note. Thanks for tuning in. Sit tight, buckle up,